Hello everybody and welcome. Premiership Women's Rugby is back for 2026. Feels like a long time since we've had the chance to enjoy the best women's league in the world, so we thought we'd come back with a bang. Not one, but two brilliant games available for you on PWR YouTube today. At Sandy Park, you can join me for Exeter Chiefs versus Leicester Tigers, or you can join Jack Zorab for the brilliant Bristol Bears as they host the resurgent Sale Sharks. Now, it's not a competition. You can enjoy all the rugby. We're bringing you every game live and uninterrupted throughout the season. But, Jack, we're going to pitch for it. First of all, my pitch here at Sandy Park. Leicester Tigers looking for their first victory of the season. They've had a great 6-week block. I am guaranteed that they worked on some things and we're going to see them today. Exeter Chiefs, well, they had Saracens put a run to 4 undefeated games, and they'll have been sat on that stinging and waiting for the chance to make it right. If they do make it right, then their playoff credentials go through the roof. Of course, they were stung last year, Exeter, going well, thinking about the playoffs. They lost to Sale Sharks. That was Sale Sharks' first victory of the season. Sale went up, Exeter went down, and they will be desperate for that not to happen again. That is the reason why you should stick with me and Susie Appleby here at Sandy Park. Jack Zorab, great to see you. Phenomenal shacket. Why should they join you up at Shaftesbury Park today?
Two good shackets on display, Dave. Well, days like this, everybody, it's what two tabs are made for. Stay across both of them if you can. But down here at Shaftesbury Park, Bristol and Sale Sharks, they're opposite each other in the league tables, 7th and 8th, and whoever wins this one is going to have that momentum into this next block. If you read the headlines in the build-up to this one, it's all about the Sale Sharks sniffing for Bristol blood, but you will not find a Sale Shark down here. Tom Hudson, their head coach, is leading that charge, who will put them as favourites. They are very much putting themselves as the underdogs. They've only beaten Bristol once in their history in the PWR a couple of seasons ago, and Bristol are the 4-time semi-finalists from the last 4 seasons. So on paper, yes, they have the form, the Sale Sharks, very much so, based on that first half of the PWR. They don't have the history. They want to make a statement today, and I think they're going to keep their cards very close to their chest until they do that. But there's so much talent on display as well, internationals from all corners of the world colliding in Bristol this afternoon. It's going to be very, very tight. I think it's drizzly down here, but the track is, of course, the artificial pitch. It'll be fast. Two teams that love to play attacking rugby. No one has beaten more defenders in the PWR than Bristol Bears this season. If they get that right at home, they're going to send this Shaftesbury Park crowd into great acclaim for what this performance will promise for the rest of the season. So that's why you should join us, but I hope you can stay across all the action, to be honest. It's going to be a good day.
You make a very good case, Jack. A very good case. 2 tabs indeed. You can watch both games live, interrupted, and absolutely free. Of course, we're looking forward to the 3 o'clock kickoff as well. Gloucester Hartpury hosting Loughborough Lightning. That's live on TNT. Well, ahead of kickoff, I caught up with Fraser and Steve, the head coaches, and this is what they told us.
And down at Shaftesbury Park, I got the thoughts of Scott Lawson from Bristol Bears and Tom Hudson from the Sale Sharks.
As the PWR returns, Scott, for Bristol, there's a change in captaincy for the second half of the season. For those who might not be aware, will you tell us about the good news behind that change?
Now, we had the pleasure of announcing Abby Ward's pregnancy to the girls on Tuesday at training. So, yeah, her and Dave and young Hallie are going to be have a new member of their household in 6 months' time. So, absolutely delighted for them.
Overly positive news, and on 2 counts though as well with Lark as well.
Yes, yeah, Lark announced her pregnancy just before Christmas, like post-World Cup. So, yeah, great news for the club, great news for them. It shows the quality of the squad that we've got great players to come and replace them in the team today.
And both of them here today as well on the sidelines to offer support, I suppose, and watch on.
Yes, always in training, always around meetings. So yeah, it's the kind of maternity policies and processes in place allow them to train right up to pregnancy, and then as Abby's already sort of proven that if you do that process and you train hard during that period, you can return and play in the not too distant future after giving birth.
For the start of this half of the year at least, of course, you'll be without them. I mean, 2 players of significance to lose in an on-field sense. But there's a lot of positivity around training, as I understand, this week. You're going to tear into the second half of the season. What's the feeling in the camp?
Yeah, you've literally lost world-class players in your squad, but the togetherness of the group, the depth of our squad, like although it has been tested at times, like delighted to come in, like say Holly Cunningham comes in as a Scottish international to call the line out. We've got Lana Skeldon back today, another international player on the bench at hooker, and we're just so blessed to have like Sarah Byrne and Ruahei Demont to take over that co-captaincy and provide real leadership to the group. So yeah, it's been a tough sort of first half of the season for us, but we're really excited to get started today.
An extra person coming back after a long layoff as well in Meryl Smith, so there's a lot of excitement about her return in the team, it seems.
Yes, like she'd unfortunately had a really sort of complicated ACL injury, but no one's worked harder than Meryl to get back, and yeah, the lift that's given the girls, her constant kind of professionalism and consistency through her rehab has got her back on the pitch today, and like we're looking to build off her energy, build off her resilience, and put in a good performance for her today, as well as the rest of the group. It's really important that we make that about the whole squad, not just one person.
Sale in town today. What's going to carry the day for Bristol?
Sale have been really competitive in all their games this year, so it's going to be moments in games, and for us we've really focused on putting our game plan on the pitch, but then when those moments occur, making sure they're positive ones for us, and that just comes by our actions. We've talked an awful lot about our hustle, like how hard we work off the ball to get ourselves in situations to do good things when we're on it.
We'll look forward to seeing that Bristol hustle today, Scott. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Tom, for all the improvements Sale made in the first half of the season, all those bonus points, the draw with Exeter Chiefs and pushing other teams close as well, it's still just the one win in the log. Is getting that next win and confirming that this season is an improvement on last season where you got a single win as well, occupying your waking hours at the moment?
No, not so much lack of sleep on it, but I think you're right. Like, this competition is about winning games. However, this year was about accumulating points, and we are doing that, picking up points out of most games, most being the key phrase. But a win would go a long way today, certainly.
It was a big break for all the teams. How did Sale January?
Well, we worked hard. We parked detail and we parked 50-15 in the rugby, and we made sure that we got enough metres through our legs to make sure that we can compete now. We have 8 games in a row with one reserve week, so we need a little bit of robustness in the tank, and we've got that, and now it's about performing.
Particular areas that you worked on that you really want to see an uptick in, what would they be?
Yeah, well, we're still, I've got to be careful with my lingo, we're still not happy with our attack. We're really comfortable when we get into teams 22s, and we're happy how we're scoring tries. We're not attacking well enough to get into that space, and also we're slightly insecure around teams getting into our 22. If you look back at our last game against Saracens, they got 5 entries and scored 5 times, so we've tried to fix that too.
Maybe helping the attack side of things, a couple of interesting signings that have come about. Asia Hogan-Rochester, the Canadian superstar,
yep,
as well as Brittany Hogan, the Irish back rower and international. Talk us a little bit about how those signings came about.
Well, at the risk of oversimplifying it, we needed a big ball carrying forward that was going to get us going forward, as I already alluded to. And then once we've done that, we needed someone that can go and finish opportunities off in the 15 and create some magic. Our attacking shape isn't necessarily killing teams, where we can put girls 2v1. We need some flair and magic and X factor, and I think we've done that.
And both in line to make their debuts today off the bench?
They certainly are, yeah. I'm not sure in what capacity yet, but they certainly are.
The key in this drizzly weather at Shaftesbury Park, what might be the key messages tactically for some?
I'm not sure who it works for better, to be honest. We were expecting a stronger win than we've got now, so we'll have to just make sure that we slightly tweak the tactics. But we've adapted our attack game to be a much shorter pass game by the fact that we play 3-4 months in this kind of condition, so I'm hoping that plays into our hands.
Good luck today, hope it goes well.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Happy?
Perfect.
The teams are in, and Bristol Bears shaping up like this. The starting 15 with co-captains now after Abby Wards has had to step back, announcing her pregnancy for the second time. So Sarah Byrne and Ruahei Demont take over. Fair amount of rugby IQ and experience there to lead this team. Holly Cunningham in the second row, now the line-out caller, of course. And Pamphilette Buissa making her second appearance for Bristol Bears after impressing when the Bears lost to Quins at Twickenham just before Christmas. The threats of Millie David and Renika Bonner are well known. They will be on display once again. The bench has had to have a little shift around, actually. Izzy van der Straten has come in for Eileen Clark, who wasn't able to make her fitness just before kickoff, so she joins the likes of Demelza Short. Chloe Daniels as well will be making a debut, and Jasmine Joyce is available too. The Sharks shaping up as a travelling band of this variety. Georgie Perris-Redding, the captain, from number 6, and Sharifa Kosolo at number 8. Katie Childs will be a nuisance in the back row, that's for certain. We'll catch up with the rest of the lineup once kickoff has got underway, but this is how they look on paper. Asia Hogan-Rochester will be lurking in the second half. We hope to see her make her debut. So let's get going at Shaftesbury Park. Bristol Bears against Sale Sharks. They are back in action, and Dement gets things going for Meryl Smith, who's making her way back after 16 months out, and a difficult beginning for Meryl Smith, but she shakes that off and gets back in the line. Eyes on defence now for Bristol right from the off, with Ortiz moving to the right-hand side, and the ball just going down off Kosolo's hands at number 8, and that gives us a chance to welcome my co-commentator into the commentary box today. Holly Phillips, it's great to have your company for us this afternoon on the airwaves. Thanks a lot for joining us, firstly.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Quite a week for Bristol, with a fair few moving parts and some announcements, but also some comebacks as well, which it's great to see. And Lana Skeldon on the bench in your position as a hooker. She's looking to get back in the action. And Meryl Smith, as we've mentioned, already with hands on the ball, but not quite in the way that she would have wanted to.
Yeah, both of them have worked really hard on their return. I think Lana's been out for 435 days, so I'm really excited to see her come off. And Magic Meryl, like, we're so excited for her to be back in the mix. And I'm sure once she gets a little bit warm, she'll be off to the races.
Well, Sharks might be starting very positively indeed. Howard feeds Lizzie Duffy up from fullback and cutting a good line. Bears' defence was live to her threats. Perris-Redding doesn't knock it on, so Sharks can play. Sharks in their raspberry-coloured shirts, I suppose you would call that, and Perris-Redding almost gets that offload away. What a well-timed introduction that was from Pamphilette Buissa to the action at Shaftesbury Park. Just her second appearance for the Bears today, the Canadian international. And a penalty comes for the Bears. Maisie Davis on the ball. You know all about Pamphilette Buissa, Holly. She's a powerful player, and she's made an impact at Twickenham before Christmas and looks to be trying to do the same thing right from the off here.
Yeah, wow, what an athlete. Like, she introduced herself to the PWR at Twickenham, and what a better occasion to do it. And I'm really excited to see what she has to bring. Like, in an elite performance environment, every environment she enters, it's undeniable how incredible of an athlete she is. So that's an exciting watch.
So here is Amy Dale, 22-year-old, replacing Lark Atkin-Davis, who also announced her pregnancy very recently. So the Red Rose sitting out, of course, from now on, and Dale with a chance in the starting lineup. Evie Wills, the Scottish international. We are packed with Scottish internationals today. Evie Wills in the 13 shirt for the Sharks, and then there's Emma Orr, Meryl Smith on the other side. Of course, Rona Lloyd too in the Sharks colours. Shona Campbell wears 11 as well. Real danger runner for Sharks. So Holly, as a hooker, that's one of those ones where you look to your jumper and go, you need to do a bit better, don't you?
Yeah, I think you hope the replay goes a little bit quicker than it just did. You don't really want to watch them back, but obviously we're still feeling things out. Holly Cunningham's a great line-out contributor, and she'll be calling today, so she just needs to get things sorted with Amy Dale, and hopefully our line-out functions.
Another good set piece for the Sharks. They said this week that they're trying to work on their impact from the middle third of the pitch to try and cut through more when they're in these kind of positions, be a little bit more lethal, not just set up with a starter play and hope for the best, but have more thinking behind it. And certainly that feels like there's a fair degree of consideration about what they're trying to do off the back of the set piece. Chance to squeeze Bristol's line out off Ortiz's kick, which was a nifty one. To the middle, much better from the Bears. and claimed, but then into Sarah Byrne, but she was stooping and it was a little tricky for even someone of Sarah Byrne's powers to gather. The first part was perfect, Holly, just second part.
Yeah, I think Bristol will be much happier with that line-out drill, and it's definitely a staple in our game. So as soon as that's functioning, we'll be off to the races. Byrne will be disappointed in that, but obviously we're still warming up, so hopefully things get into a nice flow.
Third Sale Sharks scrum in a row. Another area they've been working on in January. They've had a patchy scrum form, can be dominant, can get pushed back. This is on the dominant side of things. They'll go to the left here. Duffy again, and Campbell will cut in. Shona Campbell off those fast feet. She gets an extra metre or so, and Ortiz has the next wave lined up. Morwenna Talling using her frame to get the Sharks ever closer. They are that close, and they're over. And it's Casolo, and the travelling Sharks begin in Bristol with everything they hope for. Clinical in the red zone from the Sharks. And Casolo's so powerful from any number of ranges, but from close range, lethal.
Yeah, that's great feat, and what a defensive effort. I think that's an area Bristol's been working on quite a lot, is that goal line defence piece, and I think the effort was there, but that's an unbelievable finish.
It's a great start for the Sharks, and Holly Aitchison now lining up a kick on a ground that she's fairly familiar with. Former Bristol player last season before her switch north. Hails from Liverpool though, from a town called Fromby, so she's headed back home in signing for the Sharks in many ways. And she is on the mark and off the mark. Aitchison adds the 2, and the Sharks lead Bristol 7 points to 0. So Dement, the star-studded New Zealander who signed for Bristol just before, well, just towards November time, and then already in her 4th appearance for the team, co-captaining it now with Sarah Byrne. Her impact has been quick and very impressive, exactly as you would have expected for someone of her standing in the game. Casolo does ship that on to Rona Lloyd, who was busy on Byrne's night for the Sale Sharks. She was playing the air bagpipes. I don't think she actually managed to pipe a tune on a real set, but she was heavily involved in Sale Sharks' Byrne's night, which looked great fun actually. We've been building for this though. This is the real entertainment for them. This is when they really come alive. It's been a long wait, hasn't it? 6 weeks or so, and Jarrell Searcy springs the gap. Paris Redding follows on. Great support from the flank of the captain, takes on Dement and shakes her off and still has her feet to go into the 22. Great run and link-up play from Georgie Paris Redding. Jarrell Searcy, she goes again. She looks in the mood for ball in hand today, doesn't she? She can be so dangerous. Here's Purse. Purse has to be lined up with a couple of Bristol defenders. Talling will get this. And digging down, Millie Hindman, supported by Katie Childs. Paris Redding goes again. She'll get through so many phases of play today, so many impacts. And the Sharks are looking to make a second impact on the scoreline. Casolo was close too. Playing with house money now, with the advantage. They'll pick and go, and it'll come back. And then worked away to the right-hand side. Aitchison into Duffy's hands. There's Rona Lloyd, and there's the line. And it's number 2 already. The Sharks excelling on their travels in Bristol. Rona adds another one to the tally for the season. Difficult enough to stop when you've got bodies in front of her. When there's nobody, it's a fait accompli.
I love this. We're starting to see the USA come to the party here. Their connection's undeniable, and Holly Aitchison doing what she does best, putting people into space. We just spoke on Rona Lloyd. She's so dangerous, and she's just showcasing that early doors in this game. So I think this is going to be an exciting game of rugby, and it's going to test Bristol's defence.
So Aitchison with a much sterner task for this conversion. And angle was good, but the distance not quite for Holly Aitchison. So 12 points to 0 for the Sale Sharks. Great first 10 minutes. And the way they reworked this was so slick. Duffy with lovely hands. Good beginning to the match for the fullback, Lizzie Duffy.
She's such an impressive young player, and I think she's really made her mark at Sale, and I'm excited to see her just ease into this game and see how she links up with Holly Aitchison.
Yeah, can play 10, of course, can't she, as well, Duffy? So she has that brain that can help out Aitchison when needed. Here's Childs. Katana Howard fires herself into contact. Really consistent performer this season for the Sharks. So they've had a few up and downs, particularly early on. Peirce, or Nick James, excuse me, taking that and then adding some metres. Aitchison hangs this in a difficult area. Needs to be tracked back and claimed well. Now Bristol maybe with the first chance. Ball in hand, Ciara Bevan. Here's Gwen-Ann Hopkins. Always has to be met hard, and she is. So Pamphonette Buisa hammering into contact. And Child standing up to the next wave in Bristol ranks. Bevan digs in. Dement. A little more expansive. Here's Merrill Smith. Welcome back to the PWR from Smith. She's speeding through the gap as well. Gets the pass away. Bevan in support. That's the Merrill magic that Bristol have been missing. Penalty comes. And the first really big cheer from the home fans at Shaftesbury Park for the day. Smith lights up the stadium.
Yeah, that's a lovely ball from Amy Dale, and just letting Merrill Smith unleash what she knows she can do, and no better person to get us on the front foot here and start this game. It just shows how dangerous Bristol can be when they get it right, and this is an exciting first 12 minutes for us.
Out for 16 months with an ACL injury. Bristol's inside centre. She missed so much. The World Cup, of course, she missed 1.5 PWR campaigns of 6 nations.
Yeah, she's been out a long time. I think the last time she played for Bristol was actually a final down in Sandy Park in 2024, and she's worked incredibly hard to get back today.
And that's what she can do. That's what's been missing, or what Bristol fans have been denied. Now, the Bears rolling and steadily making hay towards this try line, tucking it in, and they're going to strike here. And the forwards are muscling it over. The try's there. The forward pack and the bicep brigade doing the job. Set piece excellence and then the power.
I love it. My favourite, a maul try, and what a great way to get us started on the scoreboard here. Bristol worked really hard on their line out with the likes of Lana Skeldon and Lark Atkin-Davies missing from the mix, and Amy Dell just did an incredible job there. It's a big task to get that ball in on the 5 metre, and just to finish that way is class.
Let's have a see if we can pick out who the try scorer is here, Holly.
I want to give it to Amy Dale, I'm not going to lie.
Hooker gives it to Hooker. That's not a surprise. But it's a skill, isn't it? It's not just sitting at the back and holding on for the points. There's a lot of navigating to do, and patience and composure.
Yeah, I think I was so disappointed to miss out on playing for Bristol, and I'm sure Lark and Lana will say the same. And but sometimes you don't know how good you got it until they're missing, and I think there's a whole new grown appreciation for that hooker role in Bear Country at the minute, and obviously giving Amy Dale the credit she deserves. It's no easy task, and yeah, those finishes, it's not just a joyride at the back. You have got to do a little bit of magic back there. Yeah, this is class. So we're obviously working it towards the back, and we've done an immense amount of work on this set piece, and even Holly Cunningham's effort there to just stay square and keep us going forward. Nicola's obviously coming to the party, and then just to dot it down under a pile like that is going to make or break a game, really. So those finishes are just as important as the magic Merrill tries we're about to see, hopefully.
And on second or third viewing, rather, absolutely right, Holly, was Amy Dale, summer arrival from Gloucester Hartpury. So everything we would have expected from this contest so far, as 8th faces 9th in the PWR today. Yeah, amongst it all, a yellow card as well, so we'll keep a track of that, but the Sale Sharks are a player down. Meryl Smith whipping that away, and Bristol now full of confidence, and Ella Lovibond up from fullback. In the top 5 this season for metres made ball in hands is Lovibond. Bristol back 3 basically break the stats machine in Lovibond, Bonner and Millie Davids. It's remarkable the number of clean breaks they've made, the metres made, obviously the tries scored as well with David on 6 tries. Bonner's obviously notching up tries herself as well.
Yeah, we're absolutely blessed in Bear Country with that back 3, and obviously Jenny Hesketh away playing for GB, and Chloe Daniels hopefully making an impact off the bench. I think that's an area of our game where we're really proud of those speedsters, and they bring a whole different set of skill set to the party. So yeah, blessed in Bear Country.
And right now, with an advantage, numerical advantage as well for the Bears. You may have just seen on screen, Rona Lloyd is off for now about 8 minutes for the Sharks. So they're one world-class finisher down are the Sharks. Paris Reddick takes that short ball. What an impact she's had since she came back at the start of this season. Missed the very beginning of it, but then joined in round 2 and has just got better and better. Long time in the Sale Sharks shirt. Lovely run too from Gwenclean Peirce. Now they're coming over to Shona Campbell's side of the pitch. Bristol get their hands on, and Smith maybe the one who should get the plaudits there.
Yeah, defensively, I think we're leading in stats in Bristol at the minute for jackal turnovers and stuff. And Rhys Oakley, he's come on board this season. He's done an immense amount of work with our defensive efforts there. Obviously, Emma Orr setting that up. She's one of the best in the game, I think, at defending at 13, and I think we've just reaped the rewards.
Yeah, more turnovers than anyone else in the league, Bristol Bears. More defenders beaten than anyone else in the league, Bristol Bears. It does defy a bit of logic that the Bears find themselves so low down the table with just the 1 win.
We've got some puzzle pieces. I think we just got to make a picture now, and this season's not come very easy to us, and hopefully we get started into a 2026 on a better foot than we left 2025.
Yeah, aiming to do that is Buisa here. Picking up speed, heading into contact. Sarah Byrne. Have to watch her well, Sale Sharks this afternoon. Bevan switches the direction of attack. Dement coming across. Buisa missed out. Now here's Bonner with a clear run to the line. Renika Bonner will swerve and cross and score again. And the Bears striking back with 2 in a row themselves. One of the very sharpest in the league to do it, Renika Bonner.
She is so magic. Like, she's so dangerous in open space, but her footwork, like, she's the kind of player that would step you in a phone box, and I think she's showing that in the PWR. Yeah, this is class link up here. So much space on the edge, and that's not a player that you're going to want to give any space to. And she just finishes as she does best. She makes it look so easy.
The gap left by Rona Lloyd's absence effectively exposed by the Bears.
This is the exact momentum that Bristol need now. We just need to keep building and keep our composure. And I think with the likes of Sarah Byrne and Rouet Demont leading from the front there, we're being really good hands. I think Meryl Smith, she offers such composure in that back line, and her whole demeanour is just so calm and collected. She's got a vast amount of experience for Scotland, and I'm so excited to see them keep linking up and making magic on the edges.
Off the outside of the post from Dement. So we stay with Sale Sharks just ahead, 12 points to 10, but Bristol now very much in this contest.
Oh, it just gets better every time you watch it, really, doesn't it?
Touch of class in the pass from Dement, perfectly into the hands of Bonner. I mentioned that she could step you in a phone box, Holly, but she could also fend you away in a phone box as well. She's got a powerful handoff.
Yeah, she's definitely adding to her toolkit at the minute, and I think her development in Bear Country, I've got to see her from the very beginning, and she's just skyrocketing, which is amazing to see.
Claimed almost by Balogun. Has to then turn her eyes to defence. Difficult old restart. Nifty one from Aitchison, and it gives the Sharks this position with Childs.
I think Sarah Byrne's keen to make an impact on this game. I think she's been a bit cheeky in the maul earlier, and obviously a couple of disruptive impacts in the breakdown. I think that's definitely what Bristol need to bring to the party at this point. Like, let's get a little bit of edge about us, obviously stay within the laws of the game, but yeah, the disruption that we're looking for, hopefully they make it worthwhile with this set piece.
We should say good afternoon as well to our referee today. We didn't have the time just before kickoff, but Mike Lamb is the man in the middle today, assisted by Simon Adams and Kevin Williams. And a good afternoon to you as well, wherever you're watching on from. If you're joining our coverage right now on YouTube, it's excellent to have your company. Big day of the PWR. Great to have it back, wasn't it? Friday night for those of you that were able to catch that one. The Trailfinders almost taking a big win over Quins, but Quins holding on in the end. Still available to watch on BBC iPlayer, by the way, as well, if you want to catch up with that at the end of the weekend. I don't think Ellie Kildunn will fancy watching the last 5 minutes too much. She had a chance to win it, but didn't go away on that occasion. Nonetheless, her team bailed her out, and that's what teammates are for. Ortiz and Aitchison. And then to the line, Katana Howard lofts it over to Campbell, who looks inside, but sees Bonner there, has to go again. Bonner does drag Campbell over the whitewash. That's great defence. She's lightning Shona Campbell, but if you can grab hold of her and you're Renika Bonner, this is what you can do.
I think most players on the edge, they're fast, and I think Renika's working on her point of difference, and it's definitely that dog, that fight. She's a very, very physical winger, and I think she's bringing that to the party.
Sale with the penalty anyway.
Yeah, Bristol need to do a clinical display here on their line-out defence. This is going to be a pivotal moment for Sale, and I think they'll be looking to get some points out of this part of the pitch. So hopefully we see either some pressure in the air to make sure that hooker throws it straight, or we're absolutely demolishing this maul.
Gerald Searcy, the lifter this time, Talling. And now at the back, Childs has burrowed her head, the open side. Ortiz arrives, the Bears sending it sideways. Now the Sharks will straighten. At the back with Hindman, Millie Hindman, Ortiz, and then Campbell. When you can't catch her, that's what she'll do to you. Shona Campbell, unopposed. And the Sharks, a player down, nonetheless, working an overlap for their left winger.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I'll be the first to admit. I just obviously credited Amy Dale in the first few minutes of the game here. Like, that's not an easy task, and Sale's done quite well with their set piece in this area. I think probably Amy Dale maybe needs to hit this, but then you're in two minds here. Like, they're going to attack that left side, and just to see that space and get it out wide, that's a really, really tough day at the office for Renika to cover all of that space, and that's a class finish from Sale.
Aitchison's attempt just dropped short. Well, the Sharks are already showing the fruit of what they've been working on in January, because in this time they've really wanted to bring back maul dominance to their game, because they felt they had that at the start of the season and lost it. Well, there we saw dominance in the maul, setting up the try. They also felt that they've had possession of the ball in their opponent's half more than anyone else in the league, and so they wanted to turn that more into points, and we're seeing 3 tries after 25 minutes there. So Tom Hudson's mini pre-season that they called it in Sale in January, bearing fruit. Dements to Katana Howard. So not rolling away there. Christiana Balogun just trapped a bit as well, so couldn't really roll away, didn't get much of a chance to.
Yeah, and Georgie Paris-Redding, like, she's one of the best at it. She's going to cause a little bit of upset there, probably pinning Christiana Balogun in a little bit there, but she's quite streetwise, and I think that's smart, and I really love that area of the game, I won't lie.
You admire the devilry involved in securing that penalty.
Yeah, the dark arts of it all. You'll see it at scrum time, we'll see it at set piece, and just in that breakdown, that's what you kind of want from your back row, and I think, again, Georgie Paris-Redding does it best.
Fantastic crowd here this afternoon at Shaftesbury Park. You're not able to see the main stand from our camera, but it is packed to the rafters, and on the far side as well. Hindman tucks the ball in. Ortiz. Campbell is here again on the short side, goes into Bevan. And now Bonner has her, and Bonner almost gets her out. Talling's going to have to play scrum half here. This is a good recovery job from the Red Rose lock. Ortiz sees a little bit of space, and there's a lot of space out there this afternoon for both teams. Howard in behind, Byrne closes the gap. But it was Kira Bevan offside. Penalty Sharks.
That's great vision from Ollie Aitchison, and she's, again, another player with an immense amount of tools in her toolbox, so there's probably no space she's not going to try and exploit.
Another line out for the Sharks in this dangerous position. A little further out this time. Hindman and Childs will be looking to do a similar job. But up in the air is Balogun. That's excellent from the blindside flanker. No better way to stop a maul developing than to stop it being created in the first place. Bevan hooks that into touch. Nice distance and safe enough that Campbell couldn't take it quickly.
Yeah, that's great from Christiana Balogun. Like, I think you touched on it. If you don't want to defend them all, just don't let it happen in the first place. And there's going to be areas of the pitch where Bristol are going to be looking to put a lot of area pressure on this hooker. But obviously 5 metres out, we're going to stay down. And yeah, Christiana's got that really right this time. And Amy Dale, just to get us out of a bit of trouble there, is class.
So Hyman will go again and go to the back. Gerald City, good take in the air. Aitchison with good ball here. Howard fires it into contact. Paris-Redding collects. Good speed to the attack for the Sharks. Purse. Aitchison with the miss pass. Duffy and Lloyd, who's back on after the 10-minute yellow card. That one will run out of road for everybody.
Yeah, that's a great line-out drill and a good starter piece for Sale, and that attack is starting to look really fluid here. Like, obviously 28 minutes in, you're starting to see everyone's a little bit more comfortable, and we're starting to see both sides of the ball come alive. I think Bristol will look to be really direct here. They've got the likes of Pamfinet Busa and Sarah Byrne out in the open, so definitely going to put them to good use and hopefully get us some go forward.
Balogun this time claims the ball. There's Buisa just behind the maul, and this is a dominant maul from the Bears this time. Bevan. Lloyd. Duffy is in field, and everyone tracks back to try and make some space on this left-hand side. Lloyd is opening things up with her speed, and there goes Rona Lloyd, sees the gap. Evie Wills in support, lofts it over to Howard, lovely touch. Here's Campbell for the line. This would be something. This will be something for Shona Campbell and the scintillating Sharks around her. A try conjured from nothing, and the ambition of this Sharks outfit brought to bear.
I have a feeling we'll be saying her name quite a lot this afternoon, and it's good to see Rona come back on, and you can clear she's had a little rest there and just making a little bit of magic, but this pass is immense, and just these quick hands there, that's class. Really, really great feet, and that's not an easy finish there. Obviously, you've got Renika racing across the pitch, and yeah, that's just a class finish. It's really, really exciting rugby to start.
Katana Howard, the moment of inspiration from the American. That was a touch of exquisite excellence.
I think it's safe to say the Americans are making their stamp on this game. Their connection is class, and they're really putting a stamp on the PWR. I think they've been a quiet contender, and obviously the Canadians are getting quite a lot of praise across the PWR, especially for Saracens. But yeah, it's absolute magic. It's really class to see those players coming overseas and playing in the PWR and really elevating the whole league. So yeah, fair play.
This one will get better and better to watch the more and more replays you see of it.
Yeah, these hands, like, that is not an easy skill, and just even to have the bravery to just bat it across, that's a great, great finish.
The last second decision not to take it in two and just pop it on.
Yeah, wow, you can't really coach that, can you? That's just bravery and class. Well done. I'm glad it came off for them.
22 points to 10 for the Sharks after half an hour. What a half an hour it's been. Here's Howard back to the day job of running into closed doors. Pass from Hindman was a good one. Aitchison, they're full of confidence now, the Sharks. Duffy on to Casolo, who scored their first try. Campbell, who's now got two. She has made such a name for herself this season, Shona Campbell. Knock on from the Sharks, though. Bristol want to go to work here, hammered by Hindman, and she really had to be. Good tackle from the hooker. Smith breaks through. Bevan, that's nice. Paris Redding in defence.
I'm just hoping to see Bristol with a bit more ball in hand. Like, they look so good when things start stringing together, but we just look a tiny bit disjointed here. Like, that's unlucky from Nicola Beat there, coming up, getting off the line for a defensive effort, but it's just far too high. Like, you've got to drop your body height in those scenarios.
Can I ask you a question, Holly, separately to what we're seeing here? Where do you play in the pod system, in the 1-3-3-1? Are you an edge forward? Are you in that central three?
So specifically for Bristol, like, we do play the 1-3-3-1 pod system, and we'll try and keep our tight 5 and 8 running up the middle. Obviously, Renita Marston-Mulhern, she's been missing for us this season, but she was probably one of the most direct, lethal 8s that we had. So we've got Pamfinet filling in that role, and Gwennon Hopkins. So yeah, I definitely sit in the middle of the pitch. I don't really want to find myself in those edge channels. I don't think that's my cup of tea. But yeah, I'm up in the middle in those pods.
When we get a chance to see it, possibly on our screens, would you just point out to us and tell us more about it as we go through the game? Because it's an interesting part of the game which not everyone knows about, and some people know a little, and I myself are in that category, but there's so much more to it, isn't there? So please enlighten us as we go through this with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Duffy drops it onto the turf. By the way, if you're wondering 1-3-3-1, what on earth are we talking about? It's the position of where forwards are on the pitch. So you have 3 forwards in a pod who will support backs or forwards, and then another 3, and then 1 on the edge, usually the faster forwards. Now, the reason I also mention this is because Georgie Peris-Redding is set up as a flanker to be an edge forward when you look at her size, but in Sale they've started to use her because of her energy and her dynamism in those 3 pods, and that's where she prefers it, because she gets to hit people more often and gets to make more impacts. But she's having to massively punch above her weight to be in that pod of 3 in the centre of the pitch, but she just loves it, and we're seeing her so central here. She's always close to the ball.
Yeah, you definitely want to put players in positions where they're going to be most successful, and she's definitely doing her bit in the middle there.
Good scrum from the Bears. Bevan, lovely ball there. Smith will be the first receiver. Bonner coming into play and wrecking havoc. Lovely line. Lovibond has lacerated the defence. Lloyd gets a tackle in. Millie David, who we haven't said her name once, ball in hand, just has to secure it for the Bears, but she does. Hopkins, the number 8. Smith. Pass across, almost taken. Now Aitchison might get this into Campbell's hands. Doesn't quite. Bonner does. Ortiz.
Again, like, tackler just needs to roll away there. It's a difficult situation. There's a couple bodies on you, and Powell, that's probably one of the more frustrating penalties to receive. I'm actually excited to see Maisie Davies here. Like, come scrum time, she's this is her first Premiership start. She's only 19, and she's made a great impact both on and off the pitch in Bear Country. She's quite a funny young player, and obviously with the likes of Gwen Cleanne Pearce across from her, like that Welsh competition, it's quite good. So I'm excited to see her come alive at scrum time and link up with Sarah Byrne. I think they have a really great mentorship pairing at the minute, and she's learning a lot from Sarah Byrne, who's arguably one of the best in the world. So she's in really good hands, and I think she's been absolutely tearing up the Celtic Challenge at the minute. I think she scored 4 tries in 5 games, and she's just such a fun, confident player, and you don't always get that with the youngsters coming up through, but she's definitely she's just come and taken the PWR by storm, in my opinion.
Directly opposite Nick James right now in this scrum is Maisie Davis. And not a secret but so much for Welsh fans or fans who've followed the pathway in under-20s Wales, because she's really made an impact at under-20s level. And now the senior stakes. Ortiz. Well, that doesn't go cleanly to Aitchison, but it does to Wills and Duffy. Now Casolo charging through into space. Sharifa Casolo on the hunt. Peris-Redding with her. Supports. Just knocks on in the process.
Oh, saved by the bell a little bit there. Like, I think Emma just did a great job with her defensive effort and a great tackle, and just a little bit disconnected in Bristol and creating that line break opportunity. This is great acceleration and just the work rate to get back from Bristol, and I'm pretty sure Renika Bonner's here. The one cheeky little shot there on Georgie Peris-Redding, she'll appreciate that, I'm sure.
Talk about people that have worked hard for Sale this season. Casolo in that rank as well, whether from the second row or back row. Performing week in, week out as well. Will Bears be attacking from deep here, do you think, in hands, Holly?
Yeah, definitely. Like, we've got an elusive back line. I'm hoping they get the ball into either Ella Lovibond or Emma Orr's hands here, and we go and attack this left side. Like you said, we haven't seen Millie David on ball much, and she's an absolute weapon, so hopefully we see her come alive soon.
They have the nudge, they have the penalty as well. Referee Mike Lamb raises his arm in the air.
obviously Sarah Byrne was saying her piece before that scrum, and hopefully they've just come alive in that area and reap the reward. So, and a great effort against Gwen Cleanne Pearce. Obviously she used to play at Bristol, so they're probably quite familiar in terms of loose head, tight head, scrum time pairing. So yeah, it's good to see that come off for Bears.
Holly, how much weight can a hooker lend to that, or do they have to really focus on the hooking side of it and let the props drive through, or are you really expected to contribute every single kilo of your worth to the course?
Oh yeah, I'm going to stand there and tell you the hooker is actually so crucial, and Sarah Byrne will agree. Like that tight head hooker pairing, like that will make or break a front row, and Sarah Byrne, one of the best in the world, and she credits most of her success to the likes of Lark Atkin-Davies in Bristol, and then obviously Amy Cockayne and stuff for England. So I think that hooker connection, lateral binds, they're so important come scrum time.
So it's just as important to be supporting of your prop than it is to deliver your own power forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you've got to hook the ball as well, and I think you are contributing genuinely just as much as those props are.
The voice of Holly Phillips, by the way, alongside me today, one of the absentee members on the physio list at the moment for the Bears, but maybe back before the end of the season, Holly, we hope.
Yeah, help me manifest it. I'm waiting on surgery. I've had some really positive news about my injury, and then hopefully come back and contribute on pitch a little bit more. But yeah, that ever-growing physio list in Bear Country has been cruel, some might say, this year. But yeah, we're working our way through it, so hopefully back without a delay. I think we've been blessed with scrums this game. I can appreciate them myself. I'm not sure about that front row on both sides, but yeah, another scrum for us. So I'm excited again. Like obviously that's a really competitive area, and it's not one-sided, and that's what you want from your front rows, I think, especially at the 39th minute.
You're like Rocky Clark, Holly Phillips. Nothing better than when she's watching scrums, when she's commentating. She lives for it. She loves it.
There's definitely much worse people you could compare me to, I'm sure.
Lizzie Duffy around the back to Ortiz. Oh, good line from Evie Wills. And Bonner lassos her. Erica Gerald-Searcy driving a potential Schoff shoulder that ended up being a very hard one. Pearce rocketed through by Paris Redding. Now the up and under. Lloyd underneath it, watches it. Lovibon did enough to disrupt her. Campbell secures it for the Sharks, so it works out. Paris Redding. Ortiz back to the blind side, and there might be more space here with Hindman. Childs tries to form a one-person ruck, but gets ransacked. Good timing from the Bears. Buisa now involved to secure it, and Smith will play things away with into the red now for the first half. Sharks get it back. Maybe the last chance to extend their lead. 12 points ahead at half-time would be healthy enough. Anything more, a big bonus. But they'll bank what they have. 4 tries from the travelling Sale Sharks in Bear Country. But Bristol very much in the contest and threatening from many of the corners, but a little more coherent and a little more incisive from the Sharks. They lead at half-time, 22 points to 10.
Try a richly deserved score for Saracens' beloved cup captain Lou McMillan. It's bouncing like a dream. It's chaos. It's killed none all at once. New era.
The skies are cloudy and it is grey, but we've had nothing but popping bright colours on the pitch, and that's not only been the Sale Sharks' away jersey, although that has definitely popped. It's 22-10 to Sale. They're playing some nice stuff. Let's have a little look back at the first half and the 6 tries that were scored. So it all started with a set piece. Plenty of these, but within this, plenty of entertainment as well. Duffy and Campbell, and then in the end, Casolo would score it.
Yeah, that's tough. Like when you've got a scrum there on your 5 metre, like Christiana Bolligan on that flanker side, like she has a tough day. She's got a scrum first, but to get off quick to give that support to the edges, and obviously Sale have taken advantage of that.
Next to score was Lloyd's. Pretty straightforward, but nicely reworked by Sale.
Yeah, that's great hands, and they're creating some magic on the edges there. That's a tough job for Millie David, and that's a great finish from Rona.
Bears then right to it, and Holly, this was a pleasing one for your perspective, particularly, I think.
Yeah, this is my favourite for me. And Nicola Beach, she's worked really hard in Bear Country, actually, to get her jumping and line-out skills. And just for her to take that ball so cleanly and let Amy Dale reap the rewards of such a nice throw, like, I love this. This is class. And our maul's not always been as successful as we wanted it to be. So to come away with points here is class.
And this was typical Bears. Dement with the wide pass and Bonner with the finish.
Yeah, I love watching this. You could rewatch it, and Renika will love that we've replayed it, and she's finished so great in that open space. And again, like we mentioned, that's not a player you want to give any room to. That's great hands from Guanan as well. She's played a couple of times for Bears now, and just to get that ball away so cleanly is what puts Renika into space. So really well worked try there.
Shots will come back though, and despite being a player down, they managed to work this opening for Shona Campbell.
Yeah, this is physical, and I've got to give credit where it's due. This is a great maul, and it's scrappy, and to stay in the back and ride that out and be as patient and composed as Sale are being here, and just to see this space is great vision, and it's a great finish on the edge.
Pick of the lot? Probably was, wasn't it? This was something special from the Sharks.
Yeah, it's class. I would be biased and say the set piece is where I love to watch most, but this is really well worked, and Rona Lloyd to come off and make the impact that she is, and this connection here, and it gets better every time. That's a class, bravery and vision just to bat that ball away and get that winger into space. I think that's a dream when you're on the edges, just to have somebody with that vision and no hesitation here. Like, just amazing support, really good connection. There's eye contact there, ball comes over the top, and just a really quick bat across. That's absolutely class. Great hands. That's not a ball you want to drop. I think that's one you hear about in the training week if you don't finish that. So yeah, absolutely fantastic.
The Sharks bouncing into half-time. The second 40 is coming up in not very long, so stay with us here. Maybe check on the score over on our other match going on, Exeter Chiefs against Leicester Tigers. No doubt half-time there as well. But right here in Shaftesbury Park, Sale leading 22 points to 10. We'll be back shortly.
I'm better in my new era.
Oh, it might have just opened up here for Gallagher. Gets the pop away for Borland. It's brilliant from Gallagher. Borland, right place, right time, more than anything.
Magical offload, absolutely magical.
Sarah Beckett, that is naughty. Over the top to Mia Vanna. Shot the book. Try of the round right there. Velvet rugby from the reigning champions.
That's simply brilliant. Mia Venner, one of the sharpest shooters in the league, doing what she does so brilliantly well.
On to Laughlin, who's swerving now with options, fizzes it out wide. It's Niamh Gallagher who will score the bonus point try for Trailfinders.
Yeah, you know, this is a game-changing moment. Niamh Gallagher's got that try, but it's the work that's gone in beforehand to put her away in the pace.
And this place, all of a sudden, gets awfully noisy. It's bouncing like a dream. It's chaos, it's Kildon, oh my word! This place is her playground.
And she calmly glides through and breaks the line again. Emma Singh in open country, chases after it herself, gets the toe on it, and Emma Singh is going to score a beauty. An Emma Singh solo of the most tuneful kind.
Emma Singh, one of the most elusive runners in the league.
This scrum battle, it's one feather in the cap of the Gloucester Hartpury pack. Hunt looks to profit from it. Hearn, Venner, lovely hands, and Gloucester Hartpury will be back on level terms. Run in by Rachel Lund. The circus turning the Sale Sharks scrum into crumble.
And now the Bears are in full flight. Oh, that's as good a dummy as you'll see anywhere on Planet Rugby. Coast to coast from the brilliant Bears who are coming to life here on Sunday afternoon at Shaftesbury Park. And they send the Tigers all the way back to their half. Ellie Kildan shifting through the gears, gets a toe to the ball, sits up like a dream. And Ellie Kildan brings up the half century for Quins. The ultimate Predators try from the ultimate try scoring Predator.
Cabello's just slightly pushed that when it didn't need to be. And Pena sensing the space was on the inside, has absolutely gone. Claudia Pena for the line. Individual moment of brilliance that stands out under the lights. The broadest of grins on the Spaniard's face.
2v1 here if they can execute. Out and on to David with Kildan to beat. Doesn't manage it, does manage it. Millie David! What a finish. That is outrageous.
New era.
Bristol Bears fans, right now our energy needs to go through the roof.
Welcome back to Shaftesbury Park. Everybody, the Sharks in charge so far. We've had a good view of it up here, and we're right above the tunnel. Hello, everybody, by the way. And this is Holly Phillips, my co-commentator. It's a very good afternoon to you, wherever you're watching on from around the world as well. We know we have lots of viewers tuning in from New Zealand as well, and particularly Ruahei Dement has got a fan base that is well watched, as all the New Zealanders in the PWR do, also Australia and around the world. It's great to have your company. We have the pleasure of bringing Holly Phillips to the air, to our airwaves today, and I wanted to ask her, Holly, because maybe people picked it up on the stream, but your accent is a bit different. You're Canadian international, so you've got a Canadian twang, no doubt, but you're a Bristolian as well. So will you explain how that has come about?
Yeah, to be honest, if I had a penny for every time somebody spoke on how weird my accent was, I could probably fund the PWR. But my parents, I am born and raised in Northwest Bristol, and then my parents immigrated to Canada in 2008 and plopped us down in Canmore, Alberta. So I have had the likes of playing in Bristol for Bears, and then being over involved in the Canadian pathway. So very, very familiar with Pamphonette Busa, Chloe Daniels, and then hopefully Asia when she comes on for sale. So yeah, very, very fortunate to be across the pond and then back home here.
Plenty of experience in a Bristol shirt too, and I wanted to know, what do you think would have been discussed at half-time? What would have been the messages that Bristol need to put out on the field?
Yeah, we definitely spoke about Sale's two sides of attack in the week leading up to this, so just getting our alignment defensively and making sure we're not folding too early. Line speed's been great from Bristol, but we've just got to stay connected. There's quite a lot of individual efforts at the minute, and we're just disconnected in those areas, and it's creating a lot of line breaks for Sale, which is pretty detrimental to the scoreline.
Let's see if those necessary measures can be made in the second half. Dement gets us underway. The World Cup winner for the Black Ferns in 2022. When, of course, they beat England in the final. Enjoying her time in the PWR. Understand she spent the Christmas period in England, staying in Alana Borland's flat in trail finds up in Ealing, and then went travelling over to Ireland for the break as well.
I think you spoke on that Islander support. Like, they actually sent us a hype video from back home, so we did get a little video just before kickoff from a few of the Blackfern players and her teammates that are supporting her from back home there. So yeah, definitely really cool to see that culture and what she has to offer in Bear Country, and it's such a unique leadership style, but we're absolutely blessed to have her come on board.
From this scrum, maybe a chance for Dement and co to conjure the first score of the second half. Kira Bevan. Bristol had the edge on Sale at scrum time overall in the first half. Bevan gets it back. Meryl Smith takes it to the line. Here comes Dement. Now Bonner involved. Lovely line. What a line. And Ella Lovibond cruises through. Inch perfect execution from the Bears.
You asked me earlier how much that hooker contribution matters in scrum time, and obviously Lana Skeldon's come on directly at the half, and she's made her impact really, really obvious there. Like, that's a really dominant scrum from Bristol, which just unleashed the back line, and Ella Lovibond doing what she does best. She's quite a quiet one. We don't always talk about her, but she's done immense things for Bristol, and she was obviously previous at Bristol University, and just for her to run this line the way it is, and Renika to get this ball away, she's so direct, and that's exactly the response you probably want coming out of halftime messages there. But yeah, awesome work from the forwards on that scrum just to set this up, and Lou to get this ball away here.
I'm just trying to see if I can spot Amber Reid in the crowd, the Bristol Bears attack coach, to see what her state of excitement is. That was smoothly constructed. Here she is. She's moved on already. She's carrying the water on, carrying the tea for Kira Bevan. Of course she is. Next job.
Yeah, she's blessed our coaching team with her composure and experience, and obviously she brings an immense amount of understanding to the kicking game, so I'm sure Kira will appreciate her having the little water bottle and the tea there.
Well, she's done it at the highest level for World Cups to knock out other nations. Sorry to mention that, Scotland, but Kira Bevan doesn't get that particular conversion over.
Amber Reid is the gift that keeps on giving to Bristol, I think. Like, she's contributing coaching, not only the pathways at Bristol University, but she's come on board for us and stopped her captaincy, but is leading in so many different areas of the programme.
Well, you coach with her for Bristol University, is that right?
Yes, I do. I'm alongside her, and she's an absolute diamond.
Big contact from the restart. And the Bears so purposeful at the start of the second half. Here's Buisa, always purposeful. Bevan to Byrne and Dement. And good pressure from Casolo to force the ball to floor. Smith had to tidy up. Byrne. So many contacts right from the off for Bristol's co-captain. Gerald Searcy and Paris Redding fought her. And Bevan boxes this into touch.
Yeah, just watching the likes of Pam Finette-Busa play for Bristol, I think it's really important to touch on her 15's experience. She's played most of her rugby for Canada under Kevin Rouet, and obviously one of my teammates there. And Canada plays uniquely such an open, heads-up style of rugby, whereas Bristol Bears, they're known for the structure. They have a lot of maps, and it's almost regimented to lay that foundation to let those pieces go. So just seeing Pam come into her flow state and learn a different style of rugby has been really, really interesting, and you're seeing it come alive on the edges.
Katana Howard sails Minnesotan musket ball fired into the action for the first time in the second half. Provided the touch of the first half, Howard. Setting up a try for Campbell. Gerald Searcy. So fast for a second rower, Gerald Searcy. Lovely touch here from Aitchison. This is difficult for the try scorer. Lovibond heads in field to ensure that she's near teammates. Davies, Maisie Davis.
9, use it. Timings, get them
And
right.
her teammate Bevan knocks it into touch.
Bristol, thank you.
So Holly, I mentioned in the first half that the Sharks had a particularly a big social around Burns Night this year. They had like Scottish reeling, haggis. Rona Lloyd played the air bagpipes. They even had Iron Brew and Tunnock's tea cakes. So they really, they did it well. They did it really well. Anything going on like that for Bristol?
Yeah, last year we really got our first taste of Burns Night, and we were really fortunate to have our Scottish contingent in the mix, and we followed that tradition this year. So yeah, same vibe. We had Iron Brew and tea cakes, and we learned how to dance and everything you can imagine. We've got quite a bigger, growing Scottish contingent with Holly Cunningham and Megan Varley joining that mix. So they're almost dominating some of the rooms, to be fair. So yeah, we ate haggis for dinner that evening, and that was a first for me, definitely. So yeah, we were very, very festive for them.
Yeah, the Scots taking over the PWR. It's not just the Black Ferns or the Canadians. There's so many nations which are flocking here to get the experience and to play at this level week in, week out.
Yeah, I think in terms of the growth of the women's game, just seeing all of those countries come and contribute to the PWR, it's going to help England rugby grow, and it's going to help all of those other nations. And we saw that at the World Cup. The level of rugby and the quality, and especially with that Lions Tour fast approaching, that's exactly what we want to see, those Celtic teams coming in and making their impact. So I'm really, really excited to keep seeing the development of not only England rugby, but all of the other players in that table there. So I think this will be Lana's first throw of the game, so I'm really excited to see what energy and experience she can bring to our set piece. I know it's been an area that Bristol's been working on since she's been missing from the mix, so yeah, here we hopefully it comes off for her.
Now Lana Skeldon with 84 Scotland caps, now 32 years of age, from Melrose.
I might be right in saying she is the only current player that has the most caps at the minute in that Scotland setup. So the wealth of experience she brings, and obviously she's done her piece mentoring me as a younger player coming through and learning to line out throw. But yeah, just a remarkable individual. She contributes on pitch. Obviously, it goes without saying her experience and her quality in terms of her playing career, but off pitch, she's done so much for the club in terms of baking us goodies and just being a constant presence during that rehab stint.
Back in action now. First line out. Tapped down, but not quite straight.
that's Demals is short there. She'll be frustrated. Another young player that's coming into the mix. Probably being asked to step up earlier than she might have anticipated, but it's great experience for her to be in this situation. Obviously, that's a hooker's worst nightmare. It slaps the jumper in the hands. You're going to be pretty frustrated, but we'll probably let her off. She is a young little bear in bear country. So,
well, now the turn of a new returning hooker as well, Amy Cockayne, back from a calf injury for the Sharks. Now on the field. Gerald Searcy off the top. Ortiz, Aitchison, Dement flew out the line to sniff the intercept, and the Sharks read it well. Pace kept high. Cockayne to Talling. Ortiz loses her feet, and a penalty for the Sharks. Aitchison dinks this in behind. Chasing after it was Evie Wills.
Yeah, Bristol spoke a lot about discipline, especially defensively, not only getting our fold right, but making sure that tackler rolls away. I think Sale's done a great job at just utilising the cheekiness in that breakdown area, pinning players in. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Lana Skeldon. She's made a good contact there, but again, you've got to roll sideways. You can't roll into that scrum half. You're just going to get a penalty for your team.
Scrum halves enjoying much better protection in the last 12 months or so at all levels of the game. Builds into a slicker output, slicker attacking moves, and Lana Skeldon penalised for preventing Olivia Ortiz from getting that away as quick as she would have liked. Here's Cockayne and Talling, and Talling towers to bring it down. Cockayne in familiar poise. Ortiz, Howard, the Sharks gathering round her, and Campbell setting her sights on the line. She's on 2 tries, Shona Campbell, today. Talling plays scrum half. Cockayne, Aitchison does arrive. Duffy and Casolo collects it. Millie David on the tackle. Rona Lloyd, Bevan times it really well. Lloyd had taken it, so she was well within her rights to play the 9 in that environment. Talling. Gerald Searcy picks and goes. The dynamism of Sharks' second row is well known. And Bristol are making sure they have numbers in the way here. The next wave is Paris Redding. Rivet popping out the back of Bristol's defensive shield at the moment. But it holds. It holds to get the scrum.
Yeah, Sale are being so direct here, and it's always been an area of Sale's game. Their pick and goes, their set piece. They've always had really big ball carriers and really physical athletes in their mix, and I think we're seeing that today. That's a great defensive effort from Bristol. However, that's not an easy place to defend on the pitch.
Amy Relf now on for the Sharks at scrum half. Number 21.
5. Set.
Straight penalty. Mike Lamb not enjoying the pitches or that Sale Sharks are creating at the scrum.
Yeah, Sarah Byrne, putting Gwen Clean-Pearce under a little bit of pressure there, and it's really interesting to see Sarah. She's leading, she's captaining today, and I was quite curious to see if that would affect her game on pitch. Taking that leadership role. She is a natural leader, but just having that captaincy along one of the most experienced Black Ferns captains there is. So yeah, but she seems to be taking it in her stride and quite literally leading from the front, which is really, really refreshing.
And there's the other co-captain, Dement. Bevan, here's Byrne, that step and charge, one of the most fearsome sights in World Rugby when Sarah Byrne sets her sights on a defender. So often she goes right through you. Lloyd, plenty of time and space to think about things here. Duffy, Campbell collects. Ralph digs. Talling. who's really got through the carrying workload today. Morwenna Talling. Cocaine knocks on.
Yeah, that's great line speed. We spoke about that connection piece. We are a tiny little bit disjointed here, but we're getting off the line and putting that pressure on. Amy Cocaine's obviously one of the best at what she does, and yeah, Sarah Byrne's not an easy person to have running straight at you when you're trying to catch a bobbling ball. So fair play, and hopefully we reap the rewards at scrum time now.
So Meryl Smith is packing up the books and closing things off at 52 minutes on her return after 16 months out, and that's what the applause is for around Shaftesbury Park. Great to see her back.
Yeah, I asked her if she had any goals for this game, and she jokingly said survive the 40 minutes, and she's done that. And I think it's just so good to see the impact she's had on the squad, and just how she just basically rewrote the script of being in rehab club. She really, really changed the culture around that. So fair play to her. I'm so pleased she's had a good day at the office today.
From the base, Hopkins to her international teammate Bevan. Oh, that's difficult for Duffy, and it's a knock-on. Bears with the scrum.
That's that pressure we spoke about, and I've noticed Chloe Daniels is on the pitch now, and that's another exciting player. I'm so pleased. She's obviously made a massive move across the pond, and that's not an easy thing to do. I did it myself, and a couple of other Canadians have done it, and she's taken it in stride. She's fit into the club so well. She's a lovely young woman, and I think she's just done a remarkable impact to that backline. She's so versatile. I spoke about Pamphilette Boussa and the other Canadians and how athletic they are, and they just bring such different attributes to the game, and I think she's really going to make her mark in this second half of her first game. So I'm excited to see her unleash what she can do.
She's come on for Ella Lovibon, so she's at the full-back role and may well be in receipt of a pass from Ruhe Dement in this set if all things go to plan. Bevan taken on. Dement. Bonner. Now she'll have a chance to find Daniels, but Daniels has to resource the ruck instead. Millie Davids almost getting the ball again, but being missed out. Buisa instead powers forward. Millie David has not seen any of the ball today on that Bristol left wing. Balogun. Byrne. So far, just the one score in this second half for the Bears. Bevan is off. Her kind of territory still going. Kira Bevan. The jag and then the try from Kira Bevan.
Yeah, that's brilliant. She'll be buzzing on that, and she does it best. A little cheeky sniper on the edges. She'll really test those defenders, those two defenders that need to stay tight to the ruck, and she is the definition of a 9 threat. I think she brings so much physicality, and she's been so busy this afternoon, and not only getting stuck into breakdowns and tackles, but obviously she's taking kicking and attacking into her stride. So yeah, fair play to her. She's really going to test there, and that's unfortunate there, just to take your eyes off and let her do what she does best.
And in amongst it, Erica Gerald-Searcy has been yellow carded as well for that tug on Bevan, initially impeding her. She wasn't back 10 metres as she had to do. So she's off for 10. Bevan knocks this over for all 7. And Bristol are back level with the Sale Sharks, and for the next 10 with a numerical advantage. Paris Redding did well not to touch her opponent. Gerald-Searcy did, but had she not, it would have been a try anyway. So you can understand why she did, but she finds herself in the bin for the next 10.
Yeah, we spoke about the dark arts of the game, and Georgie Paris Redding, like, she does know them best. Like, similar to Poppy Cleal in that area, like, they'll dance on that line, and I think Georgie's done well there not to get involved.
So Bristol, 12 points after half-time, now on level terms with Sale. Just before the hour mark, and we're all square. Dement. Really good carry from Gwenanne Hopkins. She has so much power. She's famous for it. Former international powerlifter for Wales. Buisa. Still going. Pamphilette Buisa. Ripped away by Talling, who then dived on it and was knocked into touch. So Bristol ball here.
No surprise that Chloe Daniels is just on her shoulder. I think Pamphinette's a player you want to run a support line off of, because she will beat defenders, she will make meters post contact, and she is going to be looking to get that offload away, and when that comes to hand, it is absolutely lethal.
Skeldon. Just a flutter of wind in the air, not what we're used to at Shaftesbury Park. Can gust up much more than this. Bevan, Dement, Buissa, who's becoming more and more important to the Bears. Big dent from Pamphonette Buissa. Big power carry after that. Bevan, the pace is so high. Here's Millie David for the first time. Tracking back is good from Evie Wills. David takes play into the 22. Byrne, Dement. The pace from Bristol is much higher than anything we've seen so far in the match. Lovibond, Dement. Good take, close to the line. And Bevan looks for space in behind here. Campbell has to race back because Bonner is right on her shoulder. And she touches down.
It's nice to see Bristol coming alive, and I think this cohesion between Emma Orr, you've got Chloe Daniels. I think Ella Lovibond still is contributing. I think she's on the pitch still, but yeah, they're really linking up nicely, and you're seeing how dangerous Bristol can be. I think Ruae Dumont's doing a fantastic job distributing. Like, her composure's been class, but she's giving some lovely ball and really putting people into space, which is awesome.
Aitchison's goal line dropout. Well bounce. Dement gives it to David. Flat line to face with, so she just drives through and comes out of that collision with credit. Skeldon pops it on to Hopkins. And there's Davis. Dement has spotted some space. Lovely break from the Black Fern. Ruae Dement all the way, and she's in.
That is pure class. Just great vision there, and just to go and finish like that is amazing. We spoke about Sarah Byrne leading from the front. Ruae, quiet demeanour like I mentioned before, but that's exactly how you want to lead at 59 minutes. This is a great take, and finally we're giving Millie David some ball. She's met with two defender. That's not a wall that you want to run into, but fair play, great ball retention here, and just to keep this vision alive, heads up rugby, and that just shows the class and the wealth of experience that Ruae Dumont is bringing to the PWR.
When I say Bristol, you say Bears. Bristol, Bristol, Bristol.
Said Bevan with droplets in her eyes as she eyes this up. It won't stick, but Bristol have what they came for, the lead at 27 points to 22. 20 minutes to play. So the Bears on a 6-game losing streak after winning their first match of the season against Leicester Tigers. 74 points to 0 that was, and it felt like it would be business as usual for the Bears at that stage. Just hasn't worked out like that at all. But here, this Sunday afternoon, they have dug in to come back from 22-10 down if you missed the first half, and they're playing some great stuff. Duffy, who needs to lead Sales charge back down the field. Their precision and their season and what might it hold for them brought into question. Because when you play the team above you, Holly, or below you, in the case that these two teams are, it's almost becomes a derby because of it's a league derby, it's a league table derby.
Yeah, we've spoken a lot about belief in Bear Country, especially off the back end of the 2025, and I think Sale is a team that's quietly been growing and adding, and they've been on a slow rise, whereas obviously Bristol, like, we were a top 4 side and we've had an immense amount of success in the PWR, and I think this is probably a stint of adversity we're facing, so just getting that belief back in the group, and you can see that in glimpses here when the attack comes off. Everyone's body language, the the camaraderie and everything, we just come together and you start seeing people play with a little bit more confidence. I think if we can get this game under our belt, and even just this bonus point is going to do wonders for us just from a morale point of view. So just keep building that belief. The way that Sale has slowly been building over the last few years, we need to probably hit the accelerator there in Bear Country here and just finish this end of the season with a bit better quality of rugby.
Solid enough from the Sharks. Howard has to turn. Ralph. Impetus being brought off the bench by Eva Donaldson. Casolo has had impetus from the very first minute. Scorer of the first try in the contest. Plenty of breaks and go forward has come from her, as has Paris Redding into the 22 for the Sharks. Ralph back to the left-hand side. Talling. Leah Bartlett. And Sharks steadily making their way forward here. Talling again. Cunningham taking out her opposite lock. Cocaine. Bristol well set in defence though, and disciplined too. Skeldon gets off the line quickly. Ralph. Aitchison, can she move things up a gear or two? So Brittany Hogan in the blue scrum hat, making her debut, the Irish international. Can she bring the required impact off the bench? Sophie Benevent being thrown into the mix as well. Cocaine leaves it for Casolo. And then supports her. There's Benevent. Now they're 8 metres away from Bristol's line. Change of direction. Cocaine knows exactly where the gaps in this kind of situation can be found. Bristol still not giving anything away in defence. They are resolute and tidy and organised. Paris Redding goes to within 5. Hogan flips it out the back, along the line they go. Aitchison loops it over the top, and there's Campbell who ducks. And she's hit high, but it's a forward pass anyway. Bristol's defence, without giving away anything, forcing Sale into an error.
We spoke about that belief in Bear Country, and I think that comes from both sides of the ball. Not only is that attack growing, but that defensive effort from Bristol is exactly what Reece Oakley will be looking for. That connection, obviously that pass was forward, but I think they had it nicely covered on the edges there. And the physicality from Pam Finette-Busa and Sarah Byrne and Maisie Davies just in the middle there. It's an absolute class effort. It's something you can't coach. It just comes down to character and just an intent to want to defend that try line. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. I think messages here, if I was in the huddle, and I'd like to assume Holly Cunningham is speaking with a wealth of experience when she speaks, but just keeping that connection, that composure, like they don't need to put themselves under any pressure at this point in time, and just stay connected and get up and keep that pressure on Sale, and hopefully we get out of this area of the pitch.
So this is the last phase of play where Sharks were making headway, but it was slow. And then when the speed was put on it, they just didn't quite have that precision in the wet. And unfortunately for Leah Bartlett, having just come on and made a couple of impacts in that last phase, she's having to take her time to gingerly get back up. Seems like a shot to the ribs. Have you had the displeasure, Holly, of being suffered a rib injury, a shot to the ribs, or anything down around that area? It seems like it can take a long time to get up from.
We call it a rib tickler, to be fair, and they're quite good when you're the one dishing them out, but on the receiving end it can cause quite quite a lot of discomfort. I actually tore my oblique in contact area before, which is a pretty unique injury. But yeah, I've had my fair few shots, but I think it's safe to say we're all dishing them out. So you've got a really unique appreciation for those when they come your way.
Unique appreciation. Well, maybe that's what Leah Bartlett's experiencing right now, but she's back amongst the fray and signing on for work in this Bristol Bears scrum. So Bevan poised. And the scrum holding firm for the Bears. Now it creaks forward, more than creaks forward. It rips open the front door of Sale Sharks' scrum.
You can see that energy from Sarah Byrne there. She's definitely doing what she does best, and if she doesn't always have words to lead, she's just going to do it with her action. I think she's absolutely lethal around the park, and come scrum time, you're seeing like just the benefit of having Lana Skeldon in that mix. Maisie Davies and Sarah Byrne, they're doing an immense job there, and that's a hard place to be on the pitch. So to come away with a penalty, fair play to them. They'll be buzzing on that.
Dement kicks downfield from the penalty. Duffy thought she had it kept in touch, but Dement makes a face that might have been a little closer than she expected. But the calculations were good.
Yeah, I'm almost kicking myself because I've submitted my votes, and then obviously Rouet Dement, she's not come out the woodwork. She's just been quietly, consistently good for Bristol, and I think I spoke on Sarah Byrne's leadership. She's doing the same thing. So yeah, really, really awesome start for her in terms of the 66 minutes here.
Gerald Searcy's back on for the Sharks. That's the good news for the visitors. Back up to 15. Cocaine. Gosh, her leadership's required right now, and her power too, to bring Sale back into contention. It's been a quiet second half for the Sharks. Good pass from Howard. Duffy. Good feet close to the line. Buisa with the tackle. Talling again. Offloads this time. Good carry from Purse. Relf didn't well not to knock the ball on. Purse thought about pulling it back to Aitchison, but the call wasn't quite there. The fly half now gets it. Howard looping round, and Duffy, and this is a well-set Bristol defence that the Sharks are trying to unpick. Paris Redding. Benevent, oh, she's carrying nicely here. If she can work the hands free, Talling would have had more metres to make. Cocaine and Gerald Searcy. Familiar and important names for Sale coming to the fore. Lloyd, one of them, doesn't quite shirk the tackle of Holly Cunningham. Purse. Amy Relf wins the penalty by passing it into an offside Bristol player. So they'll have that. Clever play from the scrum half. Holly Sale have worked that penalty, and other than that though, Bristol's discipline in defence has been very impressive. Is that one of the hardest things to acquire when you're going backwards, when you're trying to stop someone from crossing your line, to not give away a penalty?
Yeah, there's a fine line, isn't it? Like, you want to contribute, and I think there's a lot of people there that are looking to make their mark in our defence, and Rhys Oakley, as he's injected quite a lot of energy into that side of the game. I think previously we've not been blessed with a defensive coach in Bear Country, and just to have that excitement about playing both sides of the ball. I think we speak about attack all the time in the game, and when you bring defence to the party, like, that can actually be such an exciting element, and I think it's given Bristol a lot of confidence. That's class. They look connected, they look confident, and they're really putting Sale under a lot of pressure.
So Brittany Hogan comes to the line out. Just a month as a Sale Shark, her first appearance. Still waiting to see Asia Hogan Rochester possibly enter the fray. Right now, it's those up front who are making the ground. Paris Redding. Purse. 5 metres away go the Sharks. 5 points down. This to level up the contest. Casolo, who scored the first try of the match. Sharks haven't been this close all half. Benevent. Gerald Searcy to Purse. They go back to the blind side, and Relf thinks about the slip pass to Howard. Maybe a chance for the Bears to steal it on the floor. Sharks have done well. There's Talling. There's the power. But short. Penalty instead, and possibly cards. But to deny Morwenna Talling from that kind of distance takes something. Let's listen in. Lana Skeldon, yellow carded. For the last 10, Bristol will be down to 14.
Yeah, that's a difficult task at the 70th minute, but it goes like Gwenann Hopkins here. That's 3 back-to-back tackles on her goal line at the 70th minute. Like, that's a massive testament to her character there. She's done a great job to come away with that penalty. Unlucky for Lana, that's not going to be the way she kind of wanted to end her return to rugby, but I think she's made so many positive impacts that we might let that one slide.
Cocaine to Talling. Nicely done from the Sharks. Cocaine gets it back, and there's only one way this is going to end for the Sharks. Cocaine is there. Sharks level up the contest. Amy Cocaine on her return, doing familiar things in dismal Bristol weather. These last 10 are going to be a real scrap.
Yeah, Amy, she's so familiar with the whitewash and clinical at the back of those mauls. I did speak on it earlier. It is an art, and she's class just to get that ball away in wet conditions. It's not an easy task, and just for her to ride this out, it's remarkable. I think there's such a physical requirement in the back and just patience, and she's probably one of the best in the game.
The muscle memory she must have for situations such as this. In any colour of shirt. Now Aitchison against her old club to try and take the lead. Difficult angle. And she's slotted it. Holly Aitchison in the rain with a kick of such high quality. 29-27.
We knew this was going to be an exciting day at the office, and of all the people to slot those points over in the wind and rain, we knew it was probably going to be Holly Aitchison. Probably a little bit sweeter. Like, she's been sorely missed in Bear Country. She's such an incredible rugby player, and I think Sale are so blessed to have her in their mix, and obviously she's proving that to them today.
Bristol asked to go back to the drawing board and conjure more points. Dement will get us moving. 8 minutes remaining. That's a difficult one to take for Casola. She's under so much pressure, but she's done it. A win for both these teams will mean so much in the context of their seasons. They have both only won 1 match so far. Sharks have also drawn against the Chiefs. Ralph to Holly Aitchison, running things out of trouble. Howard doesn't give it to Campbell. Wise choice this time. Benevent cuts through. Gerald Searcy follows suit. And they're keeping this route 1, the Sharks. Talling, now Aitchison, more space on this. Here's Hogan, good pass in the wet from the Irish international. Lloyd carries it forward. And this time Bristol's discipline in defence is breached again. Pearce, Aitchison. Benevent running straight and hard into Byrne.
Don't go in there, thank you.
Aitchison puts this into the skies. So Dement is coming forward. David going backwards and will come back for the penalty. They were playing with that advantage. So Sharks with a great field position here to work something from. Well, whilst we're watching the highlights here, you can now select your Built for Athletes Player of the Match. They have been selected by my co-commentator, Holly Phillips, today. And Holly, tell us which 4 players you've selected for.
So yeah, from Bristol, I've given it to Sarah Byrne. I think her leadership speaks for itself. She's such an easy vote every week. I think she's consistently been good in the PWR. But yeah, her contribution at scrum time, her attack and defence has been class. I've given a vote for Kira Bevan. I spoke about her both sides of the ball. She's punching above her weight class. She's not shy when it comes to contact area, and I think she's really played really well today. She's distributed well. From Sale, Georgie Pearce-Redding, I think she's doing a lot of unspoken work there. She's been an absolute nose on the pitch and contributing even on and off the ball. Defensively, she's been a nightmare. We spoke about that pod system. She's been up in the middle getting busy, so definitely giving her a shout out there, as well as Shona Campbell. Class finish, great feet, just really, really been clinical for Sale and contributed amazing in this wet weather conditions.
So the 4 candidates, and you can select the player of the match from those 4 on the comment section of our YouTube stream. So please go there, and the winner will speak to afterwards, and we'll give them a Built for Athletes rucksack, which is becoming a highly prized asset in the PWR this year. The award for anyone who is a player of the match. 5 minutes remaining, though, in this contest for it to be decided. Bristol down to 14, remember. Sharks having ridden out two times, 2 yellow card periods for this slender lead that would mean so much for them to take back up north. It would be just a 2nd win of the season. They only won 1 last season. Bevan with a comfortable platform again. Bristol have certainly had the edge in that part of the game. David comes into play for the first time in the match, or one of the first times. So little of the ball seen by Millie David. Against expectation. Bevan wants to bring players closer to her. Pamphonette Buisa, one of them. Pearce-Redding is standing up to her in defence. Christiana Balogun knocked back here by Gerald Searcy, making up for lost time, having spent 10 of the second half minutes in the sin bin. There's Emma Orr. Buisa, she's difficult to bring down, isn't she? Pamphonette Buisa. And Bristol, despite the wet weather conditions, wanting to go from deep. 3 minutes remaining on the clock. And Bevan decides that it has to go long. Off her boots. Aitchison working her way through against old friends in Bristol colours. Ralph. Benevent, good offload, but Gerald Searcy wasn't expecting it. Chance for Bristol here if they can move this. They eventually do. Dement. Emma Orr, good break on the outside from Emma Orr. Byrne takes that brilliantly close. No one can win that collision. Dement sees space, and Bonner is after this, and she has set her sights on it. Aitchison cannot be slack here. Manages to claim it. Stays on her feet just about long enough. Bonner was lurking with real menace, but Holly Aitchison did what she had to do. Casola looking to bail out the Sharks from this kind of position. Inside the last 2 minutes. Sharks so close to an away win in the PWR against the semi-finalists for the last 4 years, Bristol Bears. They billed themselves as the underdogs, despite the way things have been going this season and the form shown. They still felt, coming down here, that Bristol should be the favourites on their home turf, as Bristol will have felt. Howard. Gerald Searcy. Keeping it tight. Penalty Bristol. Sharks tried to shut it down, but the Bears still with sharp claws. And what this last minute and a half may hold for them.
We spoke about Bristol's jackal turnovers, and obviously that's Sarah Byrne physically in the mix there. That was a moment where Bristol needed to get possession of that ball back. The clock is probably our worst enemy at this point, so just for that turnover, it's absolutely class. Really, really good, and no better person to do it than Sarah Byrne.
Is the sub been made? Yes, 11 off, okay. Time on! Holding on.
How deep does Dement dare to get this? Seen Holly Aitchison not make sure of a kick just a few minutes ago. Dement absolutely makes certain with that, but not that many metres on it. Nonetheless, it is the line out.
Yeah, she's quite a wise woman. I think that kicking meters, like, it's not worth the risk, and I think she's made sure that we get this opportunity to start a platform to play off of.
And Bristol, despite being Alana Skeldon down, have won it. And they start to heave forward. Penalty gained. Bevan has a free shot here. Lovibon drives straight through. Bristol fans know their Bears need them here. Byrne takes it on herself for the first carry. Now Davis, the youngster. Amy Cocaine tries to come through and ruin the ball. Initially legal, but after that no longer. Demelza short, she's upended. And Sale pour through here. Still with the advantage though, so Hogan won't be allowed to run with it. And look where we are. So Kira Bevan, it will fall to her.
I gave her a vote for that pick of the match for a reason. I think she's done it for Wales in the past. Like, this is something she won't be too unfamiliar with. Just kicking it for the post under pressure. So I think I'm just going to look away, to be honest. I don't really want to watch this.
We won't ask you any questions for the next 60 seconds, Holly Phillips. Bears also in the hunt for their second win of the season. It comes down to Kira Bevan. Straight in front of the posts, 22 metres out. In the wet in Bristol. Whether she's in red, whether she's in blue, Kira Bevan kicks it straight through. Bristol have a second victory of the PWR season. And the relief cascades down the stands and onto the pitch at Shaftesbury Park. They left it late. It was nervy, but they have come through it to down Sale Sharks, who were so intrepid on their travels. So excellent in the first half and gutsy in the second, but still coming up short. It has been a PWR cracker this afternoon. Holly Phillips, can we speak to you now?
Yeah, I'm full of beans now. Like, fair play to Kira Bevan there. That's class. She's getting all the hugs she deserves. And yeah, I said she did it for Wales. She's absolutely rock solid under pressure, and fair play to her. You can see what it means in that huddle there, the hugs and the cuddles and stuff. That was such a pivotal moment for Bears in the season, and I know that was going to mean a lot for Sale, but wow, what that's just done for Bristol is class. I don't really have the words to describe how crucial this win was for us today. So yeah, hats off to Kira Bevan.
Injury struck for so many parts of the season. Holly, you've been a part of that. And difficult moments as well. And of course, flux. We've had the great news this week about Abby Ward and Lark Atkin-Davis, but of course they can't be counted on anymore. And yet still coming through it all. With all that changes behind the scenes to record a second victory. Now for the Sharks, who were hoping for their second victory, in consolation, they have another 2 bonus points on the road. A great performance again by them, but still falling just short. They did, of course, provide our player of the match as well. You voted for Georgie Paris-Redding as the Built for Athletes player of the match, so many congratulations to her. Another great performance from the back rower in Sale Sharks' ranks. I dare say right now it won't be too much of a consolation, but we'll be hearing from her post-match. So let's just rewind the track and see the second half highlights and quite how it happened. It was set-piece perfection at the start of the second half. Holly, this was a wonderful score from Ella.
Yeah, Ella's such a direct and elusive runner at the same time, and for her to finish that is class. And we spoke about Bristol's set piece. I think they take quite a lot of pride in that, and to see it come together is brilliant. Meryl was absolutely electric. I think the ball she was giving, the quality, the vision that she provided in that back line just let us unleash such quality players like Ella Lovabond, like Renika. So, yeah, really, really awesome to see. And just the hugs afterwards, I think Bear Country's really tightened up off pitch, and that culture's just shining straight through.
And Kira Bevan with a trademark snipe, and that was something that really set the purple patch going for Bristol in the second half.
Yeah, she's an absolute hero. She'll love this as well, just being at the forefront of all things. She was great in defence as well. Such a physical scrum half is what you kind of want, and I think just for her work off the ball and on the ball and just her vision for space has been brilliant.
Ruahe Dement making sure that the New Zealand contingent in the PWR were represented on the scoreboard. Fine try, this one.
Yeah, absolutely. She's showing that she's ready for that Pacific 4 series. I'm sure New Zealand are missing her. We're so grateful to have her here in Bear Country, and that's just a great finish. She's been immense today. I think her kicking game was class. Her leadership, her composure. I know Sarah Byrne will speak really, really highly of her experience there, so fair play.
And then the Sharks showing such resolution to bring themselves back into things. Amy Cocaine on her comeback. So important, of course. And it really felt like the Sharks were going to bag the points at this stage.
I think most women's rugby fans will think we're a little bit of a broken record when we speak about Amy Cocaine dotting down tries at the back of them all. But yeah, it's clinical. You can't get bored of it because it's absolute class.
Oh, so much fun to be had for Bristol Bears. Tonight, one presumes, Holly, there's going to be a celebration for this one.
It's a school night.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think we're heads down, next task now. Like, this is class, and these little moments on screen at the minute is what make it all worthwhile. That rehab club, getting people out of the, I don't want to say dark ends of that injury, but we've just been so unfortunate with injuries in Bear Country, and just these little moments, they're probably more important than the win, to be fair, and it's really brought us closer together as a group.
Now, whatever happens after this, moments to cherish on the field. Let's have a look at the scorecard for the PWR this weekend. On its return, we have been treated. Friday night was a close one again. Trailfinders up against the Quins, and that went down to the death. Quins taking that one. Here, it has gone down to the wire as well. 30 points to 29. Bristol Bears have won it. Chiefs have taken out the Tigers at Sandy Park. And join the coverage on TNT Sports at 3 p.m. Gloucester Hartpury facing Loughborough Lightning in 11 minutes' time, the kickoff there on TNT Sports. But next weekend as well, we'd love to have your company too. 7th of February, Bristol Bears facing the Trailfinders on YouTube. Sale Sharks on the BBC iPlayer game at Hayward Road against Gloucester Hartpury, welcoming the champions for that one. And then on the Sunday, Tigers Saracens from 1 p.m. on YouTube, and Quins Exeter on TNT Sports. Well, thank you very much for your company today, whoever you're supporting. I hope you've enjoyed the output. The players have been superb. They've entertained us, haven't they, Holly? And thank you for yourself, your insights. It's been great company as well.
Yeah, I don't usually get to watch the game from up here, and I think that was an entertaining game of rugby. So, yeah, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Well, I will let you go so that you can enjoy some of the celebrations maybe out in the wet here in Bristol. Well done to them. Congratulations to Sale Sharks as well. And we will see you all very soon on another PWR game. Thanks for joining us.